Hi, everyone. This is the Clockwork Percussion podcast, and I'm here today with Darren Cochran.
Hello.
What's up, man? Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Just to give a little bit of background, Darren and I used to play in a band called Sprawl Out, over a decade ago. We rehearsed in this very rehearsal studio, Gemini, in Santa Ana, California. Darren played bass in the band, and I played drums. But since then, he has moved on or moved back to your current.
Back, I suppose.
Because Wam Dingis was around in high school before our band.
My gosh, yeah. Ooh. Well, I guess to clarify, and this might be jumping in fast, but yeah, I was playing guitar as a little kid, like 5th, 6th grade, in a vacuum, because this is before social media, and it's hard to meet other little kids who play music.
Yeah.
And then I met my buddy Jordan through, like, the church that we both went to, and found another person who plays guitar. But we don't need two guitarists. So,
well said. Does anyone?
Yeah. We don't. No. This is, no. Not that band. So I first picked up the bass because I had one laying around, so I became the default bass player. And we cycled through a couple bass players. Or we cycled through 2 drummers before I realized that I should just do it myself.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't working, but yeah.
So you jumped on, and then Zeke was like your main bass player for a while, right?
Yeah. So then, when I fell into the drum throne, we then cycled through a few bass players before we landed at our current Angela Vasquez, who's the best.
She's great
in the world. Yeah. And it's weird that approach of it just it wasn't my intention to be a drummer. So that it's taken me this long for it to finally sink in, like, oh, I actually am a drummer.
Yeah.
You know, like my peers get like frustrated with me because I throw that out there all the time. Like, I'm not a real drummer. Like, I throw it out there like a caveat. It's like a catchphrase of like, whoop, I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm not a real drummer.
But you are.
Yeah, I'm now coming to grips with the fact that, I'm a real drummer, and I should probably take this more seriously.
Well, you're great, and I saw you guys play at the Viper Room most recently, probably like late spring of 23. Awesome set. You guys played some new stuff that I hadn't heard before. You still played my favorite song, James, which I just fucking love. Towards the end of your set, you're all warmed up, and then boom, boom, meow, boom, boom, meow.
Yeah.
Pumped. So, what are you up to now? What's the current deal with Darren on drums?
Ooh, we just finished up a EP that is going to be coming out, waterfall-y. We're, releasing a song by song.
Oh, right.
That whole thing.
Smart. Yeah, that's what you got to do now.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And it's not the one where we do intend on making the next album, and having a conceptual, like, packaged album. But this EP isn't that. It's a collection of songs that we need to get out.
Yeah. How many songs?
We could say 3.5.
Okay.
I say that just because when we were starting to write this song, I think it started with an Angela bass line, and I was having a hard time figuring out like what the drum beat was because it could be two things.
Oh, okay.
It like I could either drive the song like in a very straight like do got do or do got do, you know?
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Like there is this like we could take it either direction.
Right.
So in the process of writing it, we were jamming on it in both ways. So we landed on the straightforward, like more punk rockish, what you expect. But I couldn't let it go. I liked the other one so much that I was like, can we just like tack on an extra like, you know, this song kind of ends, but then it slips into this other thing and just
Sweet.
lets itself free, and
Like,
time signature goes, and the lyrics are out the window.
Okay.
And it's just about feeling and groove now.
So it's like a reprisal, fucking 2, 3, 4 Sergeant Pepper's.
Yeah,
like at the end
Yeah,
when it comes in and it's like more rock and roll.
absolutely. Like, yeah. So it's hard to classify that.
Cool.
It's the song and a half.
So what's the EP gonna be called?
4 H's.
4 H's.
Yeah.
What's the story behind that?
So it's home, hunger, and higher, and then higher extended.
Oh, those are the song titles.
Yeah,
Okay, 4 H's, and then you got the little H at the end.
And we're recording with Mutation Records, a little collaboration with our friend's record company. And the idea is to put it out on cassette.
Okay.
And when we were thinking about the packaging of it, we had this thought of making it look like the blank VHS.
Yeah.
You know, those blank VHS sleeves that you would get in the 90s.
Yes.
You know, like once you see it, you immediately like it hits you. Like, yes, I've had this thing in my house. Like, it's where I recorded my Jerry Springer episodes or whatever you were doing with your blank VHS.
Yeah.
But yeah, that visual aesthetic then inspired the 4 H's. Because, well, the 4... it ends up looking like the 4 is the upside down V and HS. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're just taking like kind of pre-existing, you know, whatever their aesthetic was and twisting it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. When is it due?
That is a great question.
I know how that goes, man.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, right. Sick, dude. Cool. What else is going on? Are you so Wam Dingis, and then where can we find you guys on the internet?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I know at Wam Dingis, WAMDINGIS on Instagram at least, but do you have a .com or a Facebook or anything like that you want to drop?
I think that's it. Oh my gosh. I'm the last person to ask about these things.
Nice.
This is like my kind of trademark thing in a band is like, I'm here for infrastructure of writing songs and stuff,
Yeah.
but just like tell me when to show up. Like,
Cool. So the band's Wam Dingis, everyone. And
yeah.
As long as you spell it right, you're gonna find it for sure.
Yeah, it's not US, it's IS.
Right.
Dingus.
Right. Sweet. So, all right, let's get into some questions here. What drumsticks do you use?
Oh my gosh. Steve Gadd. Vic Firth, Steve Gadd's
Signature sticks. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you like about those so much?
There's something about that like beveled tip that I found really like immediate fast strike, like I'm not sure. And it might be in my head too, because I'm a very, very vain person. Like and they were black sticks.
Oh, okay.
I was like, okay, I'm set. Like
Do you know what like diameter they are? Are they closer to 5A or 5B or?
I guess they're 5A. It's
Okay.
pretty much the most standard, just with the like more barrel shaped tip than
Okay. Cool.
than, like spade shaped or whatever.
Yeah. I'm a Vic Firth man myself.
There is another oddity though that's I then at some point realized that they made the same stick with a plastic tip.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point I got one of these just to try it out and found that like, yeah, I can get like different tones.
Right. Nylon tips. Yeah, on the cymbals.
Mostly with cymbals, of course. So now if I can, this isn't always, but I try to keep the plastic tip in my right hand and a wood tip in my left hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So when I buy a set of sticks, I had to buy 2 sets of sticks.
Right.
And then,
Yeah, but that makes sense. That's pretty cool. Okay.
And yeah, whether anybody in the world will ever fucking hear the difference of that, or if it's just in my head, like, I don't know. But it works in my head, so.
Well, I think it's like a brighter sound. I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't played with nylon tips in, man, I don't know how long, but I don't think I've ever, like my fear I think was always just like breaking them off because I play so hard, but I don't even think I've done that. So I don't know, maybe I should run into a pair of nylon sticks again. Nylon tip.
Because like most of the time when you're attacking a crash, that's not the part of the stick you're using anyway.
Right.
You're using the meat. It's just when you want to ting a bell.
Yeah.
Or, get some tings and pings out of things.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So in that circumstance, you're generally more controlled.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Who's your favorite drummer?
Oh my gosh. I mean, a kind of dumb, rudimentary answer is Ringo.
That's the first time I've heard that on this podcast.
Oh my, well, like I can see it, and it's funny because I can see why people can talk shit on Ringo, which is ridiculous. Nobody should ever, because he's amazing.
For sure.
But like I can see why you would, but he's a constant reminder to serve the song.
Yes, that's a great way to put it.
Like he's not doing anything extra. He's doing exactly what the song needs. And yeah, when he does, so anything that's added is intentional and flavored very specifically part for part.
Yeah, and producer George Martin loved him because he was super consistent with like all of his fills and beats and everything, but his timing, he said, was amazing. And that's ultimately why he replaced Pete Best was because he was just like a way better drummer. And you said it perfectly. Like the songwriting in the Beatles it was unlike anything else ever at that time with like the recording quality and everything. So the songwriting and the singing really stands out in its own right. But then Ringo was the guy like framing it all.
Yes.
Like with the drums, and he became like the standard, in the 60s.
Absolutely. And they were throwing him curveballs all the time.
For sure.
But yes, he just tastefully dealt with it all.
Tastefully.
And
Yes. Okay. I love that answer, Ringo.
There is another though, and I feel like an asshole for not remembering his name, but the drummer of the Walkmen.
Okay.
My first exposure was I saw them play their song "The Rat" on the Conan O'Brien show a million years ago, and that was part of the like. I immediately was in love with this band, and they influenced everything I did moving forward. But to see him play drums, the fills and intensity, like it's all there, but it seems very like it's like not incredibly calculated and precise.
Okay.
But bursts of
That's
like
cool.
This is coming organically. And when you see him playing, he's bouncing on his throne. Like he's bouncing back there, not looking at anything that he's doing, with the biggest, dopiest grin on his face. Like he just looks so happy to be there.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, exactly. And like you can, and that the bounce that he is, it is felt in the entire room.
Okay,
Like it is that like serving the song and laying down the like, this is the vibe. This is like how your body's gonna move. Like
right.
Yeah.
Matt Barrick.
Matt Barrick.
I think that's his name.
Yeah.
Just a quick glance at Wikipedia. He's also in Fleet Foxes, or was at some point.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So.
Yeah, I'm not the greatest at due diligence.
Nah, I mean, why remember it if it's on the internet?
For sure,
Just look it up. Okay, so what drum kit do you play?
Oh, there's two that go in and out of rotation, and basically just for aesthetics, as I mentioned, super vain. So the more recent one is a 90s Pearl Export something, and it is what it is. I recovered it and like took some fabric of a whole cloth and reskinned the thing. So it's beautiful. I love her.
What does it look like?
Oh man, it's like dark blue background and maroon flowers and
Oh, this isn't the zebra
leaves.
print one?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's got birds and some cool
Okay.
stuff.
Okay, cool.
Oh, and I don't know where the inspiration happened, but because initially when I got this thing, it was the most obnoxious yellow. Like, and I couldn't deal with
The kit was wrapped yellow.
Yeah, it was wrapped in yellow. And like the worst yellow. Some yellows are better than others. But this one was the worst. So I took all the hardware off and started peeling the wrap off of it. and the toms went back to wood.
Yeah.
The kick drum, there was a black wrap under it,
Oh.
which is weird, right? Like, and there was nothing that I could find that like led me to believe that that's not how it left the factory.
Interesting.
If that makes any sense. Like, yeah, super weird.
It was like a gloss wrap, a black gloss wrap.
Yeah, exactly. And like,
But none of the toms didn't have that, and everything was the same color yellow when you got it.
yes,
Very curious.
right? Yeah. So when I discovered that, I then wrapped the toms with the fabric, but left the kick drum, it's black,
Okay.
and then put the fabric over the resonant head of the kick drum.
Okay, I know what pattern you're talking about now. I've seen that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it ties the room together, throws things off. I don't know how to tune a drum, but I know how to make them look fucking awesome.
Dope.
Yeah.
And that's a 4-piece kit?
Yes.
Okay.
And the zebra, though.
Yeah, the zebra. That's what I thought you were going to talk about. Is that
Yeah.
you still have that one?
I do. Yeah. I need to dust it off. It's been too long. It depends on like what our outfits, what our image is that,
That night, yeah.
Yeah. But the zebra kit started similarly as a 90s Pearl export. But at some point I inherited a 70s Ludwig set that was like one of the 7-piece.
I was going to ask if you still had the maroon one.
Yeah. And I had bought it like from my high school.
Right.
And it had been through, it's a high school drum set that's been sitting there since the 70s. So much was missing, much was,
Yeah.
blah. And
But it had all those big toms, like it was like a 22-inch kick and then like a bunch of like giant fucking toms.
yeah. So the unfortunateness is I let too much of that drum set like just float away.
Mm.
Pieces in weird directions like have floated away.
Yeah.
So what is left? What is left is, of course, the steel snare. Like what were those? The rockers.
I mean, the Ludwig, right? Steel snare.
Yeah,
Was it
yeah.
8 lug? Maybe a acrylite or something?
Yeah.
I don't know. Classic stuff.
It's of that era. Yeah, it's the one that's on every record.
Okay.
It's that one.
Right.
And the other piece that I kept was it had 2 floor toms, so I kept the giant one.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have the choice.
Yeah, they were giant.
Yeah, it is a huge, giant floor tom. And another interesting thing, it came with the stand that would hang the 2 floor toms.
Right.
They didn't have 3 legs. It had a stand
That's what I thought.
that would hold both of those and then a cymbal stand. So now it's reversed. It holds 1 floor tom and 2 boom cymbal stands.
Yeah, because you do something interesting. Your cymbals, your crashes are next to your ride only, and you don't have a crash next to your hi-hat.
Yeah.
Which is it actually, like, live aesthetically, it looks pretty cool because you don't have a cymbal covering your face.
This is true.
So, I mean, can you walk us through that as far as, like, how that, like, affects your playing?
Yeah, it's like, once again, because like I didn't I had never really intended to be a drummer, so I didn't like learn from anywhere per se. Or,
Right.
You know, there was no right. I had to figure out how to set up a drum set myself. Like, and I was yeah, a little punk rock kid who would. I want to do everything different anyway.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But yeah, no, something about it. I was just letting my muscle memories and intuition guide how I wanted to do, and I just never felt comfortable crashing anything with my left hand.
Okay.
And I have no idea what that is, but it still is like kind of a thing.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, no idea, but I'm cool with it.
Yeah. No, it's unique. I notice it every time I see you play. I'm like, oh, that's right. Like, but it's cool because you always put crashes where they need to be. You know.
For sure. There is the weird caveat exception to that is I will in a sense use a like slightly opened hi-hat
Okay.
to crash or like
Okay.
to fill some of these spaces with my left hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Hard to explain how that technique
Yeah. No. I get it.
develops. Yeah.
So if you had an unlimited budget, what is your dream kit?
Oh my gosh. This is a weird one because I don't know. I'd have like in a perfect world, I could Pepsi challenge some things and sound like, okay, you all like 3 different companies make the same product. You know, do I like Pepsi or Coke?
Uh-huh.
You know, but I want that full translucent acrylic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I want the whole band. I want them to have acrylic instruments.
Oh, sick.
I want all of the thing to be acrylic. So, like, whatever our outfit is, it's not going to clash with whatever the outfit or scheme or lights. You know, nothing's going to clash with anything because the instruments are clear. And, of course, you get to see more me. If the entire drum set is clear, you see more me, and that's what everybody wants.
Well, dude, my next kit is definitely an acrylic kit. Pearl makes a clear one. DW makes a clear one. Yeah, the Crystal Beat.
The Crystal, yeah.
I mean, you know, I'm sure you can get them from multiple places. Ludwig obviously makes acrylic clear drums, and then the way that I'm looking at it, I think it's called drummaker.net or drummaker.com, and you can actually like custom build your own kit.
Oh.
And it's way less expensive. They'll cut the bearing edges for you, and you just have to be diligent about ordering every single piece, like all the hardware that goes onto the drums. But like for me, I'm just gonna get 3 shells, like 2 toms and a kick.
Yeah.
And I know what sizes I want, and I don't want to like pay for a badge. You know, these guys have been doing it for like 20, 30 years. They're going to just do it, ship it, and I'm going to save half the cost.
Oh, my God.
So let me know when you want in on that, and I'll toss you the link.
Wow.
And you can get like all the Ludwig colors they have, because a lot of people have like a old Vista-like kit from the 70s, but like one tom cracked or something, or the snare cracked or the kick cracked. So they have to order like just one piece, and they want it to look as original as possible. They even like go as far to take the old badge off and like glue it on.
Yeah.
So there are companies out there that specialize in making shit, like RCI Starlight too. They also make acrylic drums that like emulate the Ludwig Vista lights.
Oh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah, once again, like I don't know yet. I haven't had enough experience or time with it. But they do seem to have like their own particular sound too. Like these are like
Totally. Yeah, and from what I can tell, I mean, I've only had the opportunity to play a few, is that they're just one piece and they're all like a 1/4 inch thick shells, whereas like most drum kits are anywhere from like, commonly nowadays, like modern kits are like 6 to 8 plies of wood, and they're like laminated in different ways. Like the grain can be either like cross laminated where the grains are opposing each other every other ply, or they go with each other, or like every other ply is a different type of wood. And the bearing edges, you know, like 45 degrees, 60 degrees to be more aggressive. The old vintage kits were more like rounded bearing edges. So they all have these different effects on the tone, the way the head sits on the kit. But the acrylics, a lot of people say, oh, they just sound louder. They do, but it's really like a more controlled sound because there isn't as much vibration going through like the wood grain.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
For sure.
And I love it. I love the way they sound. They're fucking, I'm a heavy, hard metal rocker guy, so I just want like loud and controlled.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's how it appears to me, is that that extra volume and their presence and power is immediate and controlled.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So I think, man, we should look into that more together.
For sure. Oh my gosh, it's one of the few examples where I can say, yeah, no, forget wood.
Yeah.
Acrylic is the future.
Right. Yeah, I think it's badass, man. And there's all these different methodologies too. Like Ludwig, they use like it's called like acrylic cement or something, or acrylic sealing of some type. So they like bend. They basically put the acrylic like sheet, a flat sheet, in a pizza oven, but it's like a proprietary kind of pizza oven for these specific temperatures that they need for like, to get them loose, and they put them in a custom mold. That's like cylindrical.
Yeah.
And then as it hardens, they put like an acrylic strip on the seam where the two edges meet.
And if you can heat them all up to the same temperature and get them to weld, essentially.
That's what it is. It's welding. That's the word. Yeah, acrylic welding. So yeah, that's how they like get their stuff to like sync up. And then there are some brands, I forget what it is. It's either Spawn or Crush. I think it's Crush drums. They're like one piece somehow. It's just like one piece of acrylic that's
so
like
it would have had to come out of a mold.
Yeah. And they're 1/4 inch thick, I believe, but they're like they're not sealed together. It's just like there's no seam. It's just like a cylinder, like the way it is.
It's weird, but it's almost just how do you make a PVC pipe?
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do you make that bigger?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah. It's funny. It all comes down to like engineering at the end of the day. Like it's just physics, But
there was a second too where I was thinking about that like, okay, this is just sheets of acrylic, like. And I was working at a glass blowing factory at the time too, so I had access to kilns, these ovens of controlled, way too much heat. So I had thought about like, could I just make this myself? But I started really thinking through the process, and I was like, dude, it's not worth I'd rather spend $1,000 than like deal with that headache.
Yeah, a 3-piece. When I priced out the 3-piece that I wanted, it was like around $1,500. Whereas if you get like a full kit from a top of the line name brand, it's going to be like $2,500. So you save $1,000.
$1,000 is what I'm hoping.
Yeah. The other good news,
I'm hoping to get away with it.
If you're patient, you can go on eBay or OfferUp or Craigslist, and you can just like part it together.
This is very true. Yeah, yeah.
Or reverb.com, you know. But then you got to like wait and hope that like everything's going to be the same color and it's all in good shape. One thing I wanted to mention while we're still on this too is Dan Armstrong is a guitar and bass manufacturer, and he makes the acrylic guitars.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes.
So,
Dude.
I think BC Rich did one too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they did a couple. Like there was a
It was like neon green or
yeah.
highlighter yellow or something.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's a little ostentatious.
For sure. Oh man, this Dan Armstrong. I think the basses. I'm not sure if the basses did this, but the guitars, they had this system where the guitar would come with 2 pickups that you could literally like pull out of the guitar and switch it out for the other one.
Oh, wild.
Like there's only one pickup in the guitar.
Oh.
But it has this weird connection that's like solderless connection, but it's a 2-point, you know, for your live and your ground. And then there was a little channel so you could slide it out without taking the strings off or anything. You could change it from a single coil to a humbucker.
That's cool.
They're amazing. Like the weirdest harebrained, like it wasn't enough that you're giving us a beautiful acrylic guitar with a wood pick guard. You have to make the weird pickup changings. Yeah.
That's wild.
For sure.
Yeah, the bass player from The Locust, Justin Pearson, he uses the acrylic bass. That was pretty cool to look. Yeah.
It is an iconically beautiful thing. Yeah.
I think that needs to happen for you guys. It totally fits your, like, everything, like your creed and your aesthetic. Like, if you guys had the clear shit and then fucking you could, yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I'm thinking, too, that one of the ways to approach the instruments, as I am a bit of a aspiring luthier, yeah, I don't take that term lightly or pretend to be one.
Right.
You know. But, that being said, I could probably hobble together a set of, you know, we come up with the body design and make a mold, and
yeah,
I think that this is the way that I'm probably going to approach that.
Okay.
To make fully, the matching body shapes and style and clear,
Right on.
Not that I've overthought this.
I'd love to see it, man. I mean, if it looks cool, I mean, you could go into business doing that for sure.
For sure. Yeah.
What does drumming mean to you, Darren?
Ooh. Oh. A lot. It's generally like, in reality, I think of myself more as a guitarist and a singer-songwriter in that realm. So playing drums is approaching it from a completely different perspective.
Okay.
It's a very different interaction and relationship that you have with music. For where, like, if you're playing guitar and singing the song, there's so many, like, you have to hit the note and do the thing and have the inflection and blah, blah, blah. And, like, with drums, there's this... I have done the preparation of teaching my body how to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I'm on stage and everything's prepared, you kind of let your body do it without you. If this makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like the second that you start to like over question what you're doing, or like when you start to analyze or get in your own head, that's when you will trip on your feet or hands.
Dude, one of my students, we talk about it all the time. Like if we go into a short if we're working on something and like he's struggling to break through the threshold of like a certain BPM, like on the pad, just like with rudiments, for example, we'll like keep going through it, kind of like do some adjustments, come at it from like a different way once or twice. And then sometimes we'll just like go off on like a tangent and talk about something else. And then he'll just like start playing what he was trying to play a minute ago without thinking about it. And it'll just happen. And then he'll realize it's happening. And then he'll start overthinking it again and fuck up. And it's like, and then we talk about that and he's like, yeah, it's just like, it's really difficult to like not think about it, but you have to almost like listen to yourself play it.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know if it, cause I'm a guitar player too. And, you know, I'm learning piano and whatnot. And so I'm totally not there with piano and guitar. I guess it could be that way, but drums, I totally agree with you, man. Like you got to get out of your own way.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, guitar is my primary instrument, but I still don't have that connection with it to where I can just leave it on autopilot.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's a difference. Because the feeling of playing drums in that moment is like you are that song. Like you are in this. Your whole body is connected to this.
Yes.
Like it's riding you as much as you're riding it. Like
right.
And it is such a beautiful place to be able to sit back and observe the situation.
Best seat in the house.
Exactly. Yeah. No, absolutely. You don't have to be the attention on the mic, you know. You get to sit back and watch the show and the reaction to the show. And yeah, it is.
That's cool. I like that answer. So I mean, like, yeah, you as like a physical entity are like in the song. I think that's a really cool way to put it. Do you sing a little bit while playing, if I remember correctly?
Oh my gosh. This has been a thing that we're like kind of kicking around. Do we give Darren a mic or not? Because it would have to be like the Britney Spears, like...
That's what I have.
Like, yeah, it would have to be that. Because otherwise I would smack it with sticks all the time. But it's hard to say, though, because another thing that we found in recording process and blah, we found out that I like hum and grunt, and like there's noises coming out of my head that I was not aware of until I heard them isolated. It was like, oh my gosh, that's
nice,
really embarrassing, but I understand. Like, yeah. So I don't know, like, my mic would have to have a mute button somewhere. Like, I don't know where. Sometimes I could possibly intentionally sing, but then sometimes you might just hear this. No. I might be mouthing the guitarist part, like, just keeping myself in time.
Well, I'm on the team. Let's give Darren a mic.
Hell yeah.
I don't think that's super uncommon. I mean, drummer face is like a thing. You know, people make weird faces. I for sure do. Like, I'm pretty slack-jawed when I play, which is kind of, it embarrasses me. And then I've got like the Madonna, Britney Spears head mic because of our time in Sprawl Out and from the Amoras when I was always like, you know, the gooseneck frickin' mic right in front of your face, but like you either like hit it with your teeth when you like move your head in a weird way, or it's like it floats and then you like need to like wait for a moment where you can like pull it in.
Yeah.
Versus just having it right on you. And if I don't know, man, if you have some like cool little like unconscious grunts and hums, I think that'll add to the show.
Yeah, no, our music, it wouldn't be out of place for most songs. Yeah, and that gives it to that I don't know how to say, but that like kind of Pixies-ish thing
Okay.
of like what the natural, just what happens, and the extra sounds that, you know, we're not trying to be too clean and precise about this. Like, let's catch all the bleed and like everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're cool. That's right. Yeah, they do a lot of that kind of stuff. It sounds very like live.
Yeah. That whether it's studio trickery or just how it was, it really just sounds like the mics were placed and like it captured the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't people doing their best to like nail the take. It was like,
it makes me wonder if like Steve Albini recorded some of their stuff, because it's like that was like in utero, you know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think he did do Surfer Rosa and Doolittle.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, that would make sense.
I could be wrong though. Apologies if I'm wrong.
I have no idea, but it seems like his MO. Cool, man. Do you have any tips for the listener for drums that you've picked up along the way?
Ooh. Start slow. Teach, like, commit it to muscle memory and speed it up. Like that is a thing. Committing things to muscle memory. Once you teach your body how to do it, you won't have to think about it anymore. It's weird, but it is that thing. It will take me 2 seconds to explain this concept to you, but it'll take a few hours of practicing, putting in the time.
Yeah.
That's totally a thing. Not sure. Well, yeah, other is something I'm like learning and trying to introduce myself to right now. Really listen to every style of music and every drummer.
Okay. Love that.
And just even if you're just dipping your toe into like the basic necessities of like, what is this, like, just broaden your horizons and experiment with stuff, because you don't know what you'll actually gain and take from it and be able to infuse into your style. But that is where your unique individualism will come from, is picking out the pieces that fit and feel comfortable, and rejecting the things that you don't need. You know, all is valid. But yes, have open ears and be willing to listen and try. Yeah.
I think that's super important. I think I got a new phone. And this is weird because my old phone wouldn't reliably connect to the auxiliary cable to play through the speakers in my car.
Yeah.
It would work like sometimes, so I was always listening to the radio for a long time, and I discovered a bunch of bands through like Sirius XM, like the trial on my car.
Yeah.
Like the channels that I found like on like a garage rock channel and the metal channel, and I just beefed up all these playlists, and so I was grateful for that. But then I got a new phone, and now it works every time. So I'm back on my Spotify playlists,
Yeah.
and I'm digging into like old shit that I have. Like I've got like an electronic playlist and a jazz playlist and a hip hop playlist, and I'm like a metal punk, rock and roll guy. So digging into all this old stuff, and I'm like, holy shit, there's so much value in like every type of music. And
Yeah.
some of these guys that don't even like the electronic guys that don't play drums, but they understand how to program drums well. And they're not just like running like a track like like Aphex Twin and Subtract and Daft Punk.
Yeah.
Like these guys know like what the drums are supposed to sound like, and like they do a really cool job for people that don't play with their limbs.
For sure, yes. And it also reminds me of like this wrestling thing of philosophy that I've been dealing with forever. Um, I'm mostly a self-taught musician in everything that I do.
Mm-hmm.
There is a certain amount of like I was in my mom's church's worship band or like jazz band in high school, blah.
Okay, sick.
But things didn't go too far. I didn't learn how to read sheet music. And now like I've investigated enough to learn a little bit about music theory, but I've always also had this hesitance because I don't want to know exactly the formula to make another blues rock song.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to know that it's 1-3-1-5-3-1.
Oh, progressions and shit like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I don't need my brain to automatically take the next step without me finding this thing on my own.
Sure.
Which, yeah. So as I write and compose, it's done by ear and feeling.
Yeah.
I have enough of the pieces to figure out how to make. I'll put this puzzle together, but it's a different picture that's on the box.
Yeah. That's rad. That's sick. Cool, man. Is there anything else that you'd like to add, like to talk about? What was your agenda coming in? Were you like Wam Dingis every day? Don't you forget it.
Don't you forget. Yeah. Wam Dingis is the best. We're about to play House of Blues.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I bought a ticket.
Yeah. You are the sweetest in the world. Yeah, I don't know. Keep your eyes open for that. The best is the music videos.
Yeah, you guys' videos are sick.
Yeah, I think
very creative.
For sure, we're just very lucky to know talented people with cameras.
That's how you do it, man. You have to like utilize your network,
Absolutely. Wam Dingis is a team and a family that it's the best amazingness.
Cool. Well, we could leave it there, and the invitation to come back is always on the table, sir.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Sweet. All right.
For sure. This has been lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you again for having me.
It's my pleasure. Darren Cochran of Wam Dingis, and we'll talk to you again soon.